Hi, I'm the Rogue Reviewer. So I've just come back from the cinema. So tonight's film was Keeper, which is the new horror film from Osgood Perkins. So I'm just going to give you my movie reaction, my thoughts, and my overall score. Okay, so the film stars Tatiana Maslany, who you may know from the She-Hulk series, who plays the character Liz, and Rossiv Sutherland, who plays Malcolm. So they're a couple that's gone away for the weekend. It's their anniversary in this secluded, hidden forest where Malcolm has a cabin. So everything starts all happy, they're drinking wine, they're celebrating. However, in the background, there's all these weird sounds, images, little rustles in the forest and the trees. You know something's going on. She's not quite aware of it. And Malcolm's being a little bit quiet about the situation and kind of ignoring that there's anything happening. And then all of a sudden, Malcolm has to rush off back to the city for the day. So she's left alone in this cabin where things really heat up. She starts having hallucinations. She's sleeping, having terrifying nightmares. She starts seeing things in the cabin that are there, then all of a sudden they disappear. So she's terrified and wants to leave. However, Malcolm, when he comes back, he kind of convinces her that everything's okay and she just needs to relax. However, I don't want to give too much away because there's a few twists and turns. So in regards to, I was quite excited to see this one because it's from the director Osgood Perkins, who's done The Monkey, he's done Long Legs. So my expectation was slightly higher than it would have normally been just for a random horror film. Unfortunately, this one was a real slow burn. There's just so much build up with not a lot happening, just little subtle sort of sounds and images in the woods. Is quite dull for a lot of the film, and you're just waiting for something to happen. The acting was okay. Tatiana as Liz was good. I mean, the film kind of really just depended on her because she was the only one really acting in the film. Malcolm was there, but his dialogue was quite limited, so it was more about Liz getting scared, trying to work out what was going on. The overall story, when it does hit, when you find out what's actually happened and what's going on, I don't think it's good enough for the build up when you're waiting an hour into the film. It's yeah, it was a slight disappointment. There's lots of kind of, it's a very nightmarish type of film. There's a very nightmare kind of element of images of her being, she's sort of sleeping, seeing things, and she's waking up having hallucinations. They're like kind of like horrific images and quite like creepy and disgusting images, but it's not a scary horror film at all. And then the last third act is, I found it a complete mess, to be honest, of what was happening. And so on to my overall score. So this one was a bit of a disappointment. It was quite boring, dull. There's a few jump scares in there. There's a few sort of disgusting, horrific nightmare images, but it wasn't enough. The story I thought was a bit ridiculous as well when you find out what's actually happening and what's causing this creepy cabin in the woods to act the way it is. So I'm going to give this one a disappointing 5 out of 10. Go watch it, let me know what you think, and leave the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one.